Welcome to the joy of coding.
Hello, and welcome to episode 76 of The Joy of Coding. It happened again where I started this episode and I hadn't been recording. So I'm sorry for the people who are watching the live stream. I kind of started over. Let's get right into it. You know who I am. I'm Mike Conley. We're going to be hacking on Firefox. Let's do it. So I've got Wacky Morning DJ open because I'm having a hard time with my tablet, which I normally use to play sounds, but let's not worry about it. What are we doing? Self-check. Yes, I'm audible. Yes, I'm recording. That's good. So we're going to see how far through this agenda we can get. If you're curious, this agenda is actually available to you. You can view this by going to, if you scroll down on Airmozilla, there's an additional links section, and you can then find the agenda. You can click on the links. That you might find that handy. As this updates, as I add notes and it synchronizes, like that. You can then refresh the page and you can get those updates, and you might find that handy. Other things to note, yeah, I might not be able to get through all of this. We will see. I'm going to do my best to follow the plan, but hey, that's, no plan survives breakfast. Again, like, we'll see how we do. So what are we doing today? Well, let's take a look at one of these bugs that I've kind of scheduled for us today. So I've got this bug 1311189, and this bug is about the form autocomplete pop-up. Actually, I opened this in the wrong browser. I had this like pre-built browser open. I want to show you the bug over here, or actually, what I want to do is show it to you over here. I've got like this autocomplete pop-up. We just replaced it. You probably haven't you probably can't tell the difference, but we've replaced it. Oh, whoops. And we've made it, use a different kind of back end. And that's great and all, except that one of the things that we used to do is put a separator. Like what I've got here is this list. It's using, I've got this data list HTML element, and I've got this input of a type, like it's a select or like a text input, but it has this list attribute set to browsers. Browsers is the ID of this data list, which means that it will automatically autocomplete or attempt to autocomplete using some of these items. And so if I were to type in FI, it brings up Firefox, even though I've never put that in there before. But that's distinct from form history entries, where if you've ever put something into this field before, like I think I'd put, if I put the word freeze dried, and pressed enter, that's not a real form, so it errored out on me, but it's now part of our sort of form history of this field, and I type the letter F. Now I get freeze dried, Firefox, and Safari, because there's an F in Safari. And that's fine and all, except that we used to put a separator between the form history entry, in this case freeze dried, and the data list entries, which would in this case be Firefox and Safari, and that separator is missing. And I want to put it back. So how are we going to do that? That's a great question. This tablet is being such a pain in the butt. I'm just going to restart it. And while that's happening, we will get moving forward on this bug. So there's no separator. I've got some notes that I've started up there. The notes are empty, but you can follow along. And the place where the separator is added is in this file called nsformautocomplete.js, where when we merge results from form history and from the data list, if we have any, I think values in this case is the data list result. If there are any data list values, then we put a separator on. Let me just see how this works. Hold on a second. Final comments. I think we put a separator on the first element of the data list entries. History comments, history final values, history results. And history comments is from entries, which is from history result. No, that doesn't make sense. So comments is we take values, which is from the data list. We create an array of just empty items. Values, labels is also from the data list. And then comments. And then for the first comment, the first one, we put a comment of separator on it. So, okay, and then we concatenate comments onto the list. Okay, I see what's happening. So we put a comment of separator on the first data list entry. Got it. And now comments is something that the new backend kind of ignores. We don't pay any attention to it, and I don't actually know if comment is the right thing we want to do. Like we might want to actually put a there's a different mechanism we can use whenever we want to style one of the rows that shows up inside the autocomplete pop-up. We don't have to use comments. We can use something called style, or we can try anyways. So form autocomplete result. Let's see how this works. Hang on. We pass in final comments is the which argument 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, the seventh argument. Oh, but of this NS form autocomplete result thing. Interesting. Right. Yeah, there are. It is called out that this is ugly. So we have to open up this JSM. We can get these comments. Okay. Style. Form history result match count. Form history. Category label on first line of results. What is this? Form auto. So suggest first category label on first line of results. Category label on any other line of results. Suggest hint. Suggest first. What are these? Suggest first. Autocomplete tree body. I'm not sure what these are. Suggest hint. Suggest first. We make the size smaller. No idea how that works. Integrate local form history results into search box results. This is from way back in the day. This suggest first and suggest hint stuff. Okay, and we got some screenshots. That's nice. Hinting column. Oh, we can put in this like little hint and stuff in there. That's interesting. Get image, and then we've got like, if there are no comments, not a category label, so no special styling, comments, get comment at, if index is 0, retrieves a comment, the index of the comment. So what I'm thinking is maybe we want to return we want to set the style to be of type separator. Like we might want to include a separator style here as opposed to a comment. Comment is kind of weird. So what we can do is get style at, retrieves a style hint specific to a particular index. We check the style bounds, and then if we have a form history result and the index is less than the match count, then it's a form history. If we have no comments there, then we bail out. So we only ever return a style if oh, I see. If there's a comment, I don't know why that is. What else uses this form auto ns form autocomplete result.jsm? ns form autocomplete.jsm. Who else imports this? ns form autocomplete result, sorry, result.jsm. Also used by the input list. But that's the same thing. And then search suggestions. This form autocomplete result. Actually used in here. Don't actually use that. We can probably just straight out remove that. Oh, here it is. Form autocomplete results, sorry. Comments on results ready. Okay. Now, as form autocomplete.js, let me just take a look. Let's see if we can find out where the separator thing was added. Make data list work. Make data list work. That was 102.4437. This separator thing was added. This was a year ago. I'll use the squash diff and we'll see if there was like some separator stuff was only added. Aha, there was some older stuff inside input list. I see. When we merge them. Okay. And then currently autocomplete pop-up. What would we do? I know that currently the tree body would look for something with a separator tree. Yeah. Type. We would get the type. Is separator get type. Template result, get tree builder, get type. What? How is it? What is this? Template match. The Zool template result. Stop. RDF, XML, maybe that's it. Truncate. A type. Okay. Type. Row, get rows, match, results, get type. Row dot mmatch is separator. We say that row is our tree row at index such and such. Row in the tree contains the match that the tree corresponds to or the match that the row corresponds to and a pointer to the row's subtree. Result. Get type. The predefined value separator may be used for separators. So that's magical. Way back in the day, Neil added this. Separator. The type of the object. Oh boy, there's a lot going on here. RDF and all this stuff. I think I just want to style it. Okay. So it takes comments, takes values, labels, comments. Can I have it get style as well? Style. So right now we're saying suggest first and suggest hint. Suggest first and suggest hint. I don't know if they're even used anymore. Font size smaller, suggest first. Like whenever you type something like, I don't think we show any kind of like suggest or comment there anymore. Aloha. No, I don't think we do. Whereas before, we would show these to say where they came from, I guess. Suggest, we'd have these little hints. Suggestions. We currently don't do that. Um, so we don't have any kind of like, we use the icon to say whether or not you searched for it before. Okay. So we could probably get rid of the suggest first and suggest hint stuff. And then if not comments, not a category label, so no special styling. Category label on first line results. Category label on any other line of results. Form history. If comments, if we don't have any so I think this is all we can get rid of all of that. If index equals this dot form hist underscore form hist result match count, return separator. Separator? Separator. Yeah, got it. Okay. So I'm just going to get rid of this stuff. So otherwise we're going to return what? Return null. So we're going to return a style of separator. And then what we're going to do is I'm going to update this to say pop-up autocomplete rich list box rich list item dot separator. I'm going to say border top 1px solid black. Let's see what that looks like. And let's build it. Sorry, I've zoomed in. Now you can't see. I will fix that. Here we go. And mock run. So we're going to go to our data list example. Safari. Now I'm going to type in smooth operator. And now if I S, so that why is there no, that's the question. There should be a separator. So let's see what is being serialized. If we look inside the browser toolbox debugger, autocomplete popup.jsm get style at, or hang on, let's, when we receive the results, maybe open popup. Let's say smooth operator, we get some message, data, results, object, smooth operator with no style. I'm going to add the style. Oh, because what did I put in? I put in M? Okay, so yeah, no separator. That makes sense. If I just have the one S though, I'm going to reload the page actually. Ah, there we go. Message, data, results, 2 results. Here, let me pump up the, can I not pump up the font? Pump up the font. I can't pump up the font, I'm sorry. I'd show it to you. And yeah, it does have a separator on top. That's good. So then we should make sure that whenever we do get style at, we're returning the correct style. Um, This is tricky because we're not entering this because I'm switching focus. So I'm gonna have to log it. Normally I'd SSH in from a different machine so that I didn't have to change focus. But here we go. We pop up. Dump. Returning style for index, and then this dot results index dot style. Okay. Real sloppy, but that's going to give us the answer that we want. That will allow us to proceed, and that's what's important. Okay, so we got form history, and then we had one called separator, and that's good. That's what we wanted. Now, sanity check, separator, that is the same, yep, separator. We should also make sure that our autocomplete knows what to do with the style of a rich list item. Do we ever do get style at? Get style at. Get style? Get style at. Oh, we do original type. Interesting. So we don't apply a class. We do original type. And then we have a class name of autocomplete rich list item. Why original type? Type. Is there an original type of like separator? Ooh, separator rect. I believe that is a horizontal or a vertical separator. Let's see. Image, image. It's content. We have an image. HBox. HBox. And then an HBox separator. Yeah, that's not what we want, I don't think. That's like a textual separator. Not the same thing. So I think what we need to do is we need to change this to be original type separator. I think we can say that if it contains CSS attribute, contains, oh, it's a star. Oh, use select nodes with an attribute value containing. Yeah, that's what we wanted. Represents an element with an attribute name of attribute whose value is a white space separated list of words, one of which is exactly value. Okay, and that's, I think, how original type works. Split, yeah, by spaces. Get style at. What's get style at supposed to return? Style hint. Split. You can split it by spaces. Okay, so it is by space. Okay. So we will use autocomplete that. All right, let's try it again. I have a good feeling. Build faster. Hey, all right, we got our separator there. Now it doesn't look exactly right. There's like a little bit of, I don't know if you can see it, there's like a little pixel there on the right. Let's see if we can update the style on the fly. Sap original type. Border top. What should we say, like, what was it? Something like box sizing. I think, is that what we want? I never remember how these things work. That's not right. Border sizing, or box sizing. Box sizing. We want to be out to the content box, border box, and hair. Okay. So we've got like some kind of weird padding, like that one pixel on the left there. That's not great. I don't know how to deal with that. Outline 1px solid red. Or actually, let's do that in here. Let's take a look at this thing. Okay, well we've got a it's not amazing. I don't think we want to do that. Border choose the right tool, man. Border 1px solid red. That's interesting. That goes all the way to the left. Border 1px, border top, but border top doesn't. Border top all the way to edges. Borders that don't go all the way? This thing suggests the margin in the padding. Border spacing. Border spacing. What is border spacing again? That's for table cells. See stiff one to the top. See style, shorthand properties. What does Yahoo say? Border. No, border CSS top edge. Not great. Border to left edge CSS. Border top. Reach. Div doesn't reach edge of browser page. Is there some kind of margin? Margin 0. Not amazing. If we do like margin -1px, margin left, margin. Then it lines up, but I feel like we shouldn't have to do that. System colors. What are the system colors? Inactive border, maybe. Inactive window 3. The color of the two borders with. Shadow, maybe. Yeah, maybe that's too subtle. 3D shadow is too subtle. What about 3D inactive border? That's really hard to see. Inactive border. It doesn't exist. Inactive caption. Mozilla system color extensions. Moz, comma box, Moz dialog text, Moz. Accent, Moz Mac, Moz HTML select, highlight text. Or what was it before, I guess is the question. I mean, separator. What were we doing before in the tree? Something was calling as separator. Tree body frame. If the row is a separator, they can paint the primary cell. Paint the left side of the separator. Separator style display. Was default height of 2 pixels. Deflate our rect by that amount. The separator is soon to be contained within the deflated rect. What color though? Use theme. Remove style for the separator. Get pseudo style context and Moz tree separator. Moz tree separator. 3D shadow. 3D highlight. OSX, it was. Whoa. Margin. Interesting. Interesting. So what does that look like here if I use the same thing? That's kind of weird looking. Solid. Hmm. Okay. Well, that's a start anyways. And then what about, is it possible that there's another piece of padding on the autocomplete rich list box? That looks wrong. Um, oh, border is transparent. Oh, that's why. Border top, border left. 0. You did that? Yeah, that's why. Because there's a border there, that's what's going on. Shoot. Can we have like a 1 pixel border in the top left? I don't think we can. Border 1 pixel width. what are we gonna do here? We need to have rich margin, Moz margin start 1px, Moz margin end 1px, and then like border left 0, border right 0. Not exactly right. Border left 1px solid red blue. That's what's going on. Okay. 0px 0px. Put these back. That's not exactly right. If we say that they're now 0, not quite right. But you know what? Having those two, yeah, it bugs me. I don't know what we're gonna do here. Maybe we should ask for help. Maybe we should ask Matt for help. Because that one pixel is bugging me. That's gonna bug me. That's gonna bug Matt. Also, I think we're drawing it when we shouldn't be. So some of the logic's wrong. Some of the logic's wrong over here. If this form hist result match count greater than 0 and there, then we're gonna get rid of this comments, file comments. Oh, I guess that's fine. All right. So what did we end up with here? For OSX, we have this. I don't even think we need this part. Okay. So that's OSX. But I think we want a special case OSX here. Themes, autocomplete. And for Windows and Linux, what did we use? We used 3D Shadow. Which, at least on OSX, I think is a little too bright. Yeah. Let's see here. So that was OS X. We need Windows. We're gonna do the same thing for Linux. Okay. Then we'll ask for Matt's advice on. Oh, we'll also get rid of the suggest hint stuff. Suggest autocomplete tree body. Is that even around anymore? Complete tree body. Suggest hint. I guess it's used by the tagging service. You know what? We'll leave it for now. We'll leave it for now. Okay. Okay, so I think we have kind of a patch, but we're going to need some feedback and some advice from Matt on how best to style this. He might have some advice. And then we'll post this up for review, see what he thinks. Histo result, that's wrong. Form hist result. Should definitely test that again. And then I put that dump in autocomplete popup.jsm. Definitely shouldn't do that. So let's build that. Make sure it works. And then, whoop. And then we will push it up for review or sort of from feedback from Matt. Good. That's what we wanted. That's what we want it to look like. That's good. All right. So let us close this down, post it up for review. Just double check here. This is bug that put back the separator between form history and data list entries in the autocomplete pop-up. Push it up for review, but I'm not going to ask for review from Matt. I'm going to do a need info with some advice. I'm actually going to take a screenshot and post it as well. That way he knows the question, he can see a picture of what I'm asking. I also didn't test on Windows and Linux. I'll need to do that. So I can do try builds. And do a couple of artifact builds to test. Uh-oh. Someone's talking about me. I'll try to ignore it for now. While I live stream, I might pick it up again later. Let's take a look at the patch. take Matt's name off that. Publish. Experiencing saw a slight Moz review bug there with the double publish messages, but don't worry about it. Now let's take a screenshot of the problem. Okay, and now we'll open it up in GIMP. File new, create from clipboard. What? Discard, add, paste as new image. What? Oh, it's because I didn't copy it to the clipboard. I put it on my desktop. Open with GIMP. Convert. Sure. And now I'm going to zoom in. Image. Scale image. Let's do a linear no interpolation. 600. And then I will crop. Whoops, daisy. Whoops, 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 whoops. GIMP, 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 GIMP. Image crop. And then save as, I'm going to call it pictures. I'm going to call it under, or not save, I'm going to export as a PNG under pictures. I'm going to call it select data list separator. No, autocomplete separator bug.png. Sure, and then we'll attach the file. Pictures. Oh, just experienced a bug. I've actually experienced this a couple of times where like the in certain situations the file input won't go away. I'm gonna restart nightly. That's just a nightly bug. I filed it and hopefully it'll be fixed soon once it's understood. It's intermittent because like if I choose, like it works now. Yeah, I don't get it. Bug. So there's a slight problem with this patch in that there's a left transparent, left and right, whoops, and right transparent border that's interrupting the border top that I've placed here. See screenshot. I think the transparent borders are so that menu, like the hover selection looks right. R to add a type of margin so that the hover selection, without messing with how the hover state looks. Any suggestions on how to proceed here, Matt? Need more information from Matt N. Sounds good to me. I think, hang on. Ooh. So that's blocked on need info now. We're done here. Blocked on need info. So let's move on. What else do we have? Create a special background hang monitor specifically for content process main thread force paints. So we were working on this last week actually, where the BHR system that we use to collect information on hangs off like main thread and other thread hangs, we can like annotate those hangs whenever we want to know about hangs that occur in a particular state. So for example, if I care about hangs that occur in the main thread of the content process during tab switch, we can annotate such hangs if we know when we're forcing a paint, like when we've initiated the tab switch, because we have that infrastructure now. So that's good, and we actually got some data in. If you look at the this bug 1.3, I'll put a link to this bug in the notes or in the agenda. I was able to get my note. I put together a notebook that shows the sort of the top level stacks um, of things that are blocking the main thread during tab switch. And this is from our nightly population. And this is very interesting. What this is highlighted though is there's several bugs in the annotation code. So for example, if a stack is annotated, basically we've found that there are some limitations in the annotation code and with how BHR works out of the box. And what we want to do is like have a very strict, like almost special BHR just for tab switch. That's like super specific for tab switch. We filed this bug 1310880 to create such a special background hang monitor. And let's I posted a patch that I thought did it, and I got some feedback. So now it's time to respond to that feedback or to like think about that feedback. Um, so Bill M looked at my patch and he says, "I'm not too happy with the locking. Um, the locking should happen inside BHR. I think it would be better if background hang thread notify activity notify wait took a lock on the manager M lock. You have to shift around the code and notify wait to make sure it only takes the lock once. Looks like the original code tried to avoid taking a lock. That seems silly to me. Taking an uncontended lock is very fast. We're only doing this twice per event. Long term, we should also look into changing this code so it doesn't use PR interrupt. It would be better to notify the lock monitor. Please use unique pointer here instead. Might be good to have an enum." Okay, so there are a couple of things that he wants me to do that I think I can do right away. So let me check out the patches that I had already written and build them. And let's see. Notify activity. Whoop. We got background hang monitor. We have notify activity and we had notify wait, which is actually defined up above. It actually calls notify activity right here. So on the background hang thread, what we want to do is take a lock on the monitor, on the manager. Manager. We take a lock on the manager. Manager mlock. Manager. Manager mlock. So background hang manager has this lock that it exposes, a lock for access to members of this class. And what we want to do is use the manager for locking, is what he says. I think it would be better if it took manager mlock as a way of synchronizing. Okay. Notify. Now what he's saying though is that notify wait, because notify wait calls notify activity. If we were to put a lock, take a lock here, then notify activity would take that lock a second time. So we kind of want to reorganize a little bit of the code here, probably. Notify activity does all this stuff. So maybe what we want to do is like Moz always inline void background hang thread kick thread. I'm just going to call it that for now. Hang thread. Maybe wake. Or just update. So I can take a lock on manager mlock. That was done before. I take a monitor auto lock. Update. And then do the same thing and notify wait. Instead of calling notify activity, take the lock, update, and say we're waiting. Void update. Let's see, does that even build? Not that building is any kind of guarantee, but does it even make sense? From the compiler's perspective, no, it does not. Has never even heard of manager before. Manager mlock on line 193 and 464. And that's because I should be using mmanager. 494. 464, sorry, mmanager. I have no idea if that works. I don't even know why Bill prefers the manager being where we do the locking, but okay. The idea is that like, so I'm doing all this tab switching, and then like if I were to open up something expensive like YouTube or the entire HTML spec, and I start getting the spinner a little bit, yeah, spinner, 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 and then shut down the content process by closing all those tabs, reload, child payload, gecko, child, force paint, get a couple of stacks here. That's actually quite nice. Timer fire, refresh driver, style, file rules, tick, and then file rules. Okay, so maybe that does kind of what he asked for. Well, I mean, I'll ask him for his opinion, obviously. Um, and then what else am I gonna do? He had some other. Please use a unique pointer here in process hang monitor instead of like m force m hang monitor. Oh, sorry, CPP. Process hang monitor, CPP. We had this hang monitor, force paint monitor. So then we do unique pointer, background hang monitor, unique pointer, background hang monitor, force paint monitor, and then the other thing is that I'm pretty sure notify wait. We don't necessarily want to do those locks there. We want notify activity. Okay. And then he said use an enum for like these different ways that the background hang reporter can run. Enum. Whoop, doesn't like it. Unique pointer. Pointer. How do you use a unique pointer? Oh shoot. Unique pointer. Maybe there's some documentation. Static unique pointer. Flyweb A info, unique pointer, principal info, M row specs. So then like who does stuff with M row specs? Make unique. What's make unique? Make unique. New. Make unique. Is help from allocating nude objects and arrays. Carrying a pocket. Semantics make unique. Oh. New char. Repetitive. Shorter. Unique cost for the auto keyword names it only once. Okay. So maybe what I can do then, enforce paint monitor equals, so it should be make unique Mozilla background hang monitor. And then I think I can just like, can I just do this? Like that. Make unique. Will it even like that? I mean, it's kind of weird looking, but let's see if that's valid. Nope. Oh, can't delete. Can't delete. So this is valid. That's interesting. Um, and then or maybe I can format it like is that better? I don't know if that's much better. But we can't delete it. How do we clear? Delete. Deletion an option second template. If no policy is used, which will either delete or delete the resources is an array. So unique. So use of a unique pointer proceeds like so. G1 equals null pointer will delete. Okay, so if I just do like a null pointer, this will delete it. Okay. Okay, well, interesting. And then background hang monitor.h, he was saying like private. Use private thread. So if we have like an enum, but like maybe make it part of the class. Class enum. Yeah, as part of a class match type. Okay. So background hang monitor, I can have like an enum. Thread type private or shared. So private, alright, it probably doesn't matter what the number is, shared, private. And it's provider array locale. That's provider array. Maybe I should make this part of the, well, there is no exposed thread type. shared, thread private. So then what we can do is have like background thread type equals thread shared, and then use private thread type thread type, or a thread type equals thread private. So if we're not disabled, if we don't have a thread, if the thread is private, else else. Here's the thing, we need to do this if the thread doesn't exist the first time. So what's a good way of if not mthread maybe scoped exit, scoped exit would be useful here. Scoped scope exit, scope exit. Auto make scope exit. Let me do that. Thread guard, thread creation guard. Make scope exit, and then if we are, if mthread, if if a thread type equals thread shared, mthread equals back, if mthread thread creation guard release. So what this will do is, like, we have this scoped exit. This will always run unless I release this thing, and we'll always run it if we're using a type of not thread shared, so thread private. So we'll never enter this. So if we are using thread shared, then we'll look for the thread, and if we find it, then we release it so we don't create a new one. Because if we don't find it, then we won't release it and we will create a new one. Okay, that works out. So scope exit, scope exit. Let's see, scope exit.h. We're gonna include it here in the CPP file. Scope exit. And then We're going to use that enum for the thread constructor. Background hang thread. Where's the constructor? Yeah, use private thread. We're going to ask for a thread type. Thread type. A thread type. And we're going to type equals thread thread shared. Hang monitor. Thread shared. I think that'll work. And then background hang thread. Thread type. A thread type. If M is private. M thread type is a thread type. Shared. I'll do that. And shared is private thread. Thread type. M thread type. Then we'll have a public bool is shared. Return M thread type equals thread shared. Yeah, that needs to be background hang monitor thread shared. Thread type. Okay, thread type. Hang monitor. Thread type. Background hang thread, the constructor. Around hang monitor thread type equals, oh, that's verbose. But let's see, it's probably, I probably missed some spots. No matching constructor for initialization of Mozilla background hang monitor. Background hang monitor. Inside process hang monitor. Oh, right. Background hang monitor. Thread private. And we'll see how that goes, and then if this compiles, holy smokes, it compiled. Unbelievable. I'm not even going to check. Push it. No, I'm just joking. All right, well, it's 2:31. Some of this stuff I think I want to I want to I'm going to commit it to these patches, and then I'm going to call the episode done. So I'm going to show you how some of these things, like I'm currently on this change set. Some of the changes I'm going to want to merge into here. Some of the changes I'm going to want to merge in here. I use a tool. I'm going to show you how to do that. excuse me, it's that Perrier. I'm going to use a tool called C-Record to choose the things I want to apply to this first patch. So C-Record is an extension for Mercurial that allows me to choose things. I don't want to make any of the changes for process hang monitor in that patch, but I will make it all of the rest of these. Thread type. All of the rest of these I'm going to commit. Okay. Bill M corrections for first patch. And then the rest of the changes are pretty straightforward. I'm pretty sure it's just that using the new enum and then the unique pointer, and then moving my notify activities and waits out of the locks, because I don't think we need the locks anymore. Commit fix ups for second patch. And now I can like use hist edit to where am I? I'm here. I can use hist edit to fold together the right things. So for first patch, I'm going to put that there, and I'm going to fold up, and then fold the second one. And then we're going to see if it actually runs, like if it does the job, and then we'll put it up for review. Well, let's build it. I don't actually think anything changed, so this should be pretty fast. And then let's run it, test it, push it for a review, and call it a day. So my classic example is going to YouTube and then the HTML spec, and then just like switching back and forth, because the HTML spec is this massive page. We're attempting to like calculate the styles, hanging a lot, and then we paint it. Okay, now we close, and then reload. We should have a payload. Gecko child force paint. Here we go. Right, and we have our hangs. Here's 1, here's 2, here's 3, here's 4, here's 5. I had some hangs in there. Yeah, calculating some style difference, for example, or evaluating a string. Interesting. All right. Let's see if they like it. Let's see if Bill M likes it. Do, 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 do. So, that's pretty much it. Sorry I didn't play too many sounds this episode. My tablet was really not agreeing with me. Let me see if it works now, because I restarted it. Just get my IP address so I can... Server. I don't know if it's going to work. Am I even on the right? Am I on the Wi-Fi? Oh, I'm on Mozilla Guest. That's why. Oh, I'm on the Guest network. That's 'cause we were having network issues before, and that's probably why. Um, it's probably why I can't connect to it, because one's on the internal, one's not. Probably want to avoid find threads. Just wasted time. Done. And then in the reviews over here, please use unique pointer. Use private thread. Thread private, thread shared. Okay, publish or discard my changes. And we're going to attach a bill M here. Let's take a look at these patches. Shared thread private. Oh, and I need to update this documentation. Shoot. Okay. Okay. So I have some. Yeah, I have some fix-ups to make. But hey, we have something that I think Bill M will like better than what we had before. So that's good. Okay, well that's it. We got through this part. We're at the point of asking for information. I should probably update my note here. No separator. I'm blocked on need info. Yep. And then the second thing is this create special background hang monitor, where we still have some fix-ups to do, but that's almost ready for review. Okay, so thank you so much for watching episode 76 of The Joy of Coding. I hope it was enjoyable. I know there may have been swaths of time there where I was just silent. I kind of spaced out for some of it. I hope it was usable and useful. If you enjoyed this episode, or if you didn't enjoy this episode, please let me know by clicking on the rate this episode link in the agenda. It's also in the additional links section or in the video description, and let me know what you thought of this episode. I'm very curious. I read all of the feedback, and I want to know what I can do to make this show better for you. So please fill in the feedback form and let me know what you thought. And with that, thank you so much for watching episode 76 of The Joy of Coding. And in the future, I will hopefully have less beard, a working tablet, and we'll be working on more bugs. So to better times in the future. Take care. Have yourself a great week. See you next week. Bye-bye.
The joy